In my last video, I left you looking at my brand new tarot trolley recycled from the side of the road, and I pondered whether I could share in that video all of the decks that I'd chosen for summer to late summer, but it's going to be a long video to do this. So get yourself comfy, and with my new OMG doll to keep us company at my desk for a change, I'm going to share all of those summer decks that I found and paired together. Firstly, this deck, the Canter G Oracle Tarot, I bought this for myself for my last birthday last November, and it's really apt for this time of year for me because midsummer going into late summer, I have realised this year that I struggle. The roses dying, the flowers beginning to go at the end of summer sees me retreating from the garden. So this deck with its beautiful gilding and all the roses on it make it perfect to remind myself that life is a circle. Changes happen. I am determined this year to try and keep more emotionally stable during the end of summer. It was a revelation to realise that it's kind of like a grief and a clinging to life too hard that makes me come out of the garden. I always thought it was tiredness, but now I think it's that emotional turmoil of watching the garden finish. So I'm using this deck to explore that idea, to explore the ways I cling too hard to life, and look at it. It is absolutely beautiful. But I've been pairing it as well with another brand new deck to me, bought on eBay for an absolute steal. And it's this one. This is the Mountain Dream Tarot. And ever since I've been working with the Somnia Tarot this year, I realised that I love photographic decks and I don't have many. So when this came up on eBay and nobody else bid against me, I managed to get this at just such a good price. The Mountain Dream Tarot. Now, for me, this works fantastically with this rose deck because it's so nostalgic. It reminds me of photograph albums from when I was a kid, before everything went digital, and photos and getting photos developed and building albums was a thing. And a lot of the characters in the Mountain Dream Tarot, they're full of sort of 60s, 70s vibes of the era when I was growing up, and it takes me back to that time as a teenager, a kid, a young adult. And I think the nostalgia inherent in these cards is kind of touching on healing a family abandonment wound that still smarts. And look at this, two Ace of Cups together. I've been finding that a lot using these two tarot together. I am getting repeating cards. If I pull an Ace of Cups, I'll pull another Ace of Cups, or if I pull the tarot will come out again in the other deck. There's some strange magic going on between the two, but it is definitely holding my hand. These nostalgic characters, they look like people I knew when I was a kid, and it is definitely a balm on that family abandonment wound, that disbelief that is still there really around events of late with family. It is a soothing balm for the end of summer, which I've realised is tricky for me. So these two have been a gorgeous pair. I mean, look at these cards, look at the blades and the scissors and the cactuses and all those uprights. There's a lot going on. Look, uprights again. There is so much going on when I use these two decks together. It has been an absolute winner. And then of course the Herb Crafters Tarot. I bought this for myself at the start of this year, and I can't quite believe it's taken me so long to get this deck. I really feel like I've worked with the majors and know the majors better, because of course this is the deck that I was using for the 7 weeks of Garden Arcana, and it was such a great way to just meet the majors. But as for using this tarot deck as a complete deck and using the minors and putting spreads with it, I haven't done that so much yet. So this is a deck that is staying out to use throughout the rest of summer. But I wanted to find an oracle to pair this deck with, and I got sent a surprise gift that just fitted right in. And it was a gift from the lovely Davin Lee, who is the creator of the Power of the Yin Oracle deck, sent to me because I was the very first person ever to review and share this deck online. And Davin, oh my gosh, she knew that I couldn't afford Kickstarter prices at the time, but I was just really happy with like the 10-12 cards I'd been sent to share. I was just viewing it as my mini little version of it, but she sent me a completed deck signed with a thank you note in the lid, and it is just so special. So thank you so much, Davin. I will forever treasure this deck. What a memory, and what an honour to be the first person to share it. But I thought it would just pair beautifully with the Herb Crafters, and it has. These are 2 decks that I've been working with this month. They're staying out on the trolley to work with throughout the rest of summer. And look at them together. What do you guys think? There is a energy and an abundance and a beautiful earthly grounding spirit here. It feels like the company of Mother Earth, and it's been really useful to get into my body more and out of my head. Ways to feel more embodied, more in my body is a massive part of this year for me. And look at this combination. You've got the pink liquid there, the Vesica Pisces here, which links to my Sheila work, and then the pomegranate on the end. Incredible. I've also been working with Davin's Oracle with the other 2 decks that I shared. So it's just been a fantastic pairing, which I'm going to keep on the trolley for the rest of summer. The next deck on the trolley is the Midnight Magic Tarot Mass Market, a mushroom deck, but it's a mushroom deck with the most glorious, witchy, secretive vibes. I think it's the black backgrounds. It is just the mushroom deck that I've dreamt of, with a brilliant guidebook that explains the choice of the mushrooms. Now, I bought this with the Herb Crafters at the start of the year because one of my goals for the year is to work more with plants, but mushrooms are just such a fascinating subject for me, which I got pulled into by reading a book from the library called Of Grief and Mushrooms, a true life story that charts a woman's journey through the grief of losing her husband, which she travels through by joining a mushroom hunting group. It's a brilliant true life story which just opened up the world of mushrooms for me, and I am still trying to find a local mushroom hunting group myself. But this deck, I haven't worked with it much, and I really want to work with it before summer's end, because it's got this most glorious, witchy, secretive parallel universe vibe to it. The parallel universe of the world of mushrooms. It's a real true parallel universe that's alive in the here and now. And then my gorgeous friend Rumour Haven from the channel Rumour Haven sent me some decks last week in the post. Oh my gosh, and you wait till you see what's in here. It is going to, I think, be the perfect pairing with the Mushroom Tarot. So in here we have the indie version of the Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle by Terry Foss. Honestly, I just think this pairing is going to be magical. Let's have a look together. I love Terry Foss's artwork. I was going to buy this deck because this deck has just had a re-release mass market. But to get this slightly larger sized indie version, Rumour, honestly, it's just the most amazing gift. So thank you so much. And oh my goodness, can you see what I'm seeing here in front of me? Look at this pairing. This is going to be absolutely magical. There's something about the two styles of the deck. They've both got that witchy vibe, haven't they? Like that secret woodland, spells under the moon, that kind of vibe to them. Yeah, this is this a bonded pair perhaps? I call my decks that absolutely were meant for each other my bonded pairs. I suspect I may just have found another bonded pair. So Rumour, thank you so much. And if you like the look of these, of course, both these decks now are available mass market, although I think the Oracle deck is released at normal tarot size. But wow, I'm excited about this. I think this looks amazing. But the Terry Foss Oracle isn't the only Oracle that I think will go with this, because Blue Angel very kindly sent me the Solitary Witch Oracle a few weeks ago for review. They're still waiting on their review video, so there is a review coming soon, but I want to work with it properly first. And I thought that this deck also, look, it's a solitary witch. It's also got those very sort of dark witchy vibes to it. Could it go with this mushroom deck? And yes, look at this. I think it does. Now, I only ever accept decks for review that I think I'm going to really like. So I looked at the Solitary Witch when they offered it to me, and I thought, yeah, I think I'm going to like that. But I've actually been blown away. When I actually received it and first looked through it and read the guidebook, I don't just like it, I love it. So there's a bit of a spoiler for the review video to come, but I've not trialled it with this tarot deck, and look at these two together as well. So I definitely think, look at those, look at the flowy blue lines there. I definitely think that these two are going to be a happy bonded pair as well. Wow, this Midnight Magic Mushroom Tarot is proving to want to play with a few things, isn't it? I can't wait for this. And again, I think it's got end of summer vibes. Then they're very summery, but they're not like the bright daytime flowers of summer. It's got that nighttime energy, perfect to see me through those difficult days of the end of summer. So yeah, these two, I think these two will be fabulous together. So now we come to the Tarot of a Moon Garden. This is the older version. It's the one with the borders. It's just had a re-release without the blue borders and the white edging around the edge. But I am really glad that I got this older version. Now, I bought this 2 years ago, but I've only opened it this week, and I've been using it this week, and I love it. I hadn't opened it in all that time because it went into what I lovingly call my bag of shame. 2 years ago I attempted a no-buy year and failed, and the decks that I bought during that no-buy year I put into a bag and refused to let myself open them until I'd successfully completed an O by Year, which was last year. So now I have all these decks in this bag of shame to open, and this was one of the first ones I opened. I've been using it this week. I love the bordered version. It's possibly still available. But I've paired it with this Findhorn Spirit Oracle card deck. Now, one of my followers and somebody I follow on Instagram messaged me and said, I think you'd love this deck. It was only £11 on Amazon, and it's the last deck I bought. I actually have only had it a few days, and I love it. The first 3 card pulls I did were all the same card. I've had the same card, so we've immediately gone into Stalker card territory with this Oracle deck, which makes me sit up and pay attention. And I just wondered whether it wouldn't make a beautiful pairing with this Moon Garden Tarot. These are the backs of the Oracle. You can see there are symbols, and those symbols repeat on the front of the cards as well, because the cards come from different realms and portals. Can you see that symbol on the front of the card? So you've got a keyword and you've got a key phrase, just think it is wonderful. And then in the guidebook you can see more about those different sections that the cards come from. Look, portals of the south, the realm above, the realm below. So I don't know exactly yet how this deck works. I've only pulled the 3 cards. This is my first time pairing it with the Moon Garden Tarot just to see, and look at this. I think they work beautifully together. They have a kind of ethereal feel to both the decks, I think, and like as if you could turn a corner and some strange mythical creature be waiting for you. And I think that feeling is in both decks, and I love that. I really love it. It's been really lovely to work with these 2 decks over the last few days. It's really prompted me to journal more as well, getting me through a sticky week as well, where there's lots of change that, as you know, I kind of struggle with. And the card that I keep pulling is the Trust card again. Oh my gosh, 3 times I've pulled the Trust card. Learn to trust my body and my environment. All about self-trust, that embodiment again. It couldn't be more bang on for where I am at the moment. And I love the fact that the guidebook tells you to dance and to connect with objects around you, and dance for objects and for the connections to objects. Ways to get out of your head and into your body. Bang on for the practice where I'm at the moment. So going straight into Stalker territory with the Trust card really made me feel like I was on the right track, having brought another new deck into the collection. And these 2 together, I think you will agree, visually they work. The messages they've worked, it's just been another great combination, which I'm going to continue working with definitely for the rest of the week, if not over the next couple of weeks. Now, another new deck on the trolley is this Cosmic Slumber Tarot, which is a deck, to be honest, that's been on my wish list for ages. It was gifted to me by the lovely Sandra at the Spirit of Avalon, as was this Oracle. The Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. I think these 2 might go together. So Sandra, thank you so much for surprise happy mail through the post. Also, I got another oracle, similar, a portal oracle. I love gateways and I love portals. So these two decks were amazing. The second oracle was a gift from the amazing Queen of Set. So Queen of Set, thank you so much for your gift too. But I think it's this gateway oracle that is going to work the best with this tarot. And yeah, the colours are stronger. The colours can match up with the fire colours of the Cosmic Slumber. And it's just got real summer vibes for me. I think I'm going to love these two together. There's sort of a fire strength about both of them. And in this period of change that I'm in, with changes in our lives, changes for the kids, I think decks that talk of gateways and portals are just perfect. Can you hear my dog scratching in the background? Never mind. But I love it. Look at these two together. Summer vibes, definitely. There's a warmth of colour palette here that is just fantastic. So Sandra and Queen of Set, thank you so much again. Look at this. This is going to be fun, I think. I want to try it with the Oracle of Portals as well while it's out. Would it work as well with this deck? These are the backs on this deck. I'm not sure. I think it's more realistic sort of photography collage. Don't think it goes as well with the drawn style of the tarot. No, this is definitely not working as well as the Gateway Oracle. This is a no for me. So I had a play around and I found the good tarot. Now this was from my birthday gift from Amber over at Lavender Moon, and I just think the style of these two decks might work really well. They're both that kind of realistic digital collage style. Oh, look at this. Definitely. So these were both out on the trolley. I think pairing these two together is just going to be a winner. I love the way the styles all line up and the way that the text is along the bottom. That's kind of a match as well. Yeah, this has got a magical feel about it. And I know the artwork isn't for everybody, but I love it. It's kind of an old-fashioned digital collage style, isn't it? I just love it. Now the Good Tarot I haven't used yet, but I do really love the deck. I have looked through it a number of times. I love that story time feel to it. I mean, look at these floating ships. It just reminds me of Peter Pan. I also love the court cards in the deck. I think that the court cards, here we go, here are some court cards. They show age, and they show age in a really magical way of wisdom. I love it. I love to see age in the court cards. So yeah, I think this pairing as well from the trolley is going to be fantastic to use for the rest of summer. Now this next deck in this glorious box with my favourite muted purple colour, which is my all-time favourite colour, is the Tarot of Tales. Now this is again another treat to myself, a new deck for this year, which I saw originally on Dawn Michelle's channel. She was using it and it just ties in with my word of the year, which is story. It's a deck about tales. It's a storytelling deck. I just fell in love with it when I saw it. I think for a mass market deck, the quality of this production is just amazing. Look at those backs. The artwork is Oh, it's absolutely breathtaking, the artwork. Look at this. You just feel like you've fallen into fairy tale, into storybooks, and that's a world that I really love. There are animals throughout which I love. Some of this fish work reminds me of sketchbooks I've been doing around fish, and axolotls. Any deck with an axolotl in, I'm right there for. And on other cards that there are octopuses, and oh, just there you go, there's an octopus. I just love it so much. But it made me think of this deck, the Primrose and Prose Oracle deck by Sam Sawyer, which is the deck I bought when I was on Lisa and Peggy's Say Yes to the Deck. And I've had it a while, and it's not had the love and the use that it deserves. But that purple hue made me think about pairing these two together. So let's have a go. Let's see if they work together. They both feature animals strongly, and look at this. Look how beautiful it is. Look at the rainbow shimmer. It's something else. So they were just calling out to me to work with over the next few months, and to work with them specifically together. They're two just such beautiful decks, and I think that there is something here. Look at this. What do you guys think? You think it's a combination of the beauty of the decks and the sort of arched integrated borders? Is integrated the word? I don't mean integrated, I mean elaborate borders. The fact that they are both featuring animals throughout. Oh yeah, I'm really liking these two together. And they both deserve love, so I think I really need to focus on a few weeks of this pair. Let me know down below what you think of them. Incredibly beautiful, both of them. So another new deck, the Radiant Wilds Tarot. This is also mass market. I bought this for myself a few weeks ago, really cheap on Amazon, under £20. So mass market again. But it reminded me of, oh my gosh, is it the She-Wolf Tarot? It had that same colour palette, that fiery reds and oranges and pinks. It's also collage. It's got these fiery gold edges as well. And I love the She-Wolf Tarot, but I just can't afford it with shipping. It's a no-no for me. And this just felt like a way of getting a deck that looked like that, but for a fraction of the price. When I saw it, I just loved it. I love the silhouettes. I love the colour palette. I love the female energy about this deck. For all the same reasons that I love the She-Wolf, I love this deck. So it's in my collection now, and I've not used it. So it just had to go on the trolley. Isn't it great? There are some brilliant depictions of the cards. Look at this Justice card. Isn't that fantastic? But I was wondering what deck might I pair this one with, and I have this oracle which was a gift a few years ago from the lovely Jen Gallucci, who has the most amazing website which I'll link below. This is the Inner Queen Oracle. I'm sorry, I have no idea whether this is still in print or not, but the shape of the torso that repeats in this oracle, it made me think of the silhouettes of this new tarot deck, and I wondered whether the two wouldn't work together for the embodiment work and getting out of my head and more into my body that I'm doing at the moment, and whether some self-love practice to do with the body could develop with these two decks. I think the colours work, the kind of starkness of some of the artwork as well works. The feminine energy of both decks match as well. And can you see that torso shape with the silhouette, how that is working too? Yeah, it's definitely working like I thought it would, you know, with the torso and the silhouettes. I definitely want to explore these two together just to try and connect with my body more. I feel like a floating head sometimes. I've been so disconnected from my body with shame and self-hatred. These two decks may give me a practice to work on that. So yeah, definitely working with these two together. Let me know down below what you think and whether you like the Radiant Wilds Tarot. Now, Annette at Project Refined Life, you're responsible for this next purchase. This is another mass market deck. 50 plants that heal, and oh boy, is this a beautiful deck. Bought for study purposes because on the back of these beautiful images you have information about the plants. So if you want to learn more about plants and how to use plants, this is a deck for you. But for me, oh my gosh, as well as all of this information on the back of the card, I also wanted it for this beautiful imagery, this deconstructed plant imagery. It truly is one of the most beautiful plant decks I think I've ever seen. Plants broken down and depicted like this is just stunning. And again, like the mushroom deck, it's on that black background, which I think I've been being called to lately. In fact, I bet this deck would work brilliantly with the mushroom deck, but I also finally pulled the trigger on the Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle deck. I cannot tell you how many times I've put the Outgrow Yourself into my basket and taken it back out again, just because I haven't wanted to spend that money. But I just couldn't hold out any longer once this Oracle had come into my collection, because I just knew that the two of them together would be something special, and they really are. I've been working with these two this month and I just have found them just beautiful. And although the 50 plants that heal Oracle deck doesn't have divinationary meanings as such, once you read about the plant and research about the plant, the meaning does come out, and it's worked fantastically with the key phrases and the tarot meanings on the Outgrow Yourself deck. The two of them together, I think visually you can see they are just something else, aren't they? Both with the black backgrounds again, both with that sort of foliage and the petal shapes. It all mirrors. There's meanings to be found visually, and with the synchronicities of the way they look, also with the plant meanings. Oh, it's just an absolute winner. I'm loving it. And Annette, she put it with the Drowning World Tarot, and oh my gosh, I'll link Annette's video down below. With the Drowning World Tarot, it looks incredible too. But before I move on, I've got to try it with the Midnight Magic Mushroom Tarot. My gosh, look at this again, guys. It is another absolute winner. Definitely these two are going to play together as well. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you, Annette, for bringing me this Oracle deck. I absolutely love it. But I also, before I move on, want to try it with the Botticelli Tarot, another birthday present from Amber, this tarot deck. I think it's the black background again. These are the backs on this deck. I wonder, I think these two might work as well. I love all this gold gilding on this tarot deck, and it kind of, the gold gilding kind of looks like foliage in its own right, which is picking up on some of the patterns in this deconstructed plant imagery. Can you see that? Look, that kind of frothy plant mirroring that gilding. I love it. These two together as well. I'm going to have to play with these two. Yet again, look at that frothy flower with the gilding. It's just something that connects the two visually. I love it. So Amber, thank you again for my birthday box of decks. It is still a gift that keeps on giving, a treat as I get to each new deck. I love it. So this next deck is another indie deck which I bought myself mid-year. So there's the Outgrow Yourself and the Joe Sparrow Tarot. Now for this deck it was Marine at the Waves of Your Soul that made me do this one. Marine shared this deck and oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. Octopus tentacles, look, and look at that 3 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, it is such a brilliant depiction of the 3 of Pentacles. In fact, a lot of these cards have fabulous depictions. Like, look, the Hermit card, look at that. Now, Joe Sparrow is a UK artist, so this was UK based, so I just could not resist it. There was one card though in particular that made me buy this deck, the 10 of Swords, which hopefully I'll find soon. I was looking at self-protection magic to protect myself from family members, and I read that a squashed frog's innards on the doorstep stops anything coming your way, and there were a few things that happened, and then I saw this deck flip through and look at the 10 of Swords, a squashed frog or a frog laid out, frog innards. I just thought, I don't believe it. There is my frog's innards, and that was it. I had to buy this deck and I love it. So I really want to play with this deck this year with frog innards and all, and I just think it's magical. So what deck on the trolley to pair this one with? Well, seeing as the frog innards are all about protecting yourself from family, how about the Iris Oracle, which is a deck that speaks very much of that toxic family wounding, recovering from scapegoating. This is my go-to deck for that. This is going to be quite a combination, I think, if this works. It's one that I'm going to have to brace myself to use. Don't let the colourful, simple, gentle imagery of the iris fool you. It is quite a hard hitter. And look at this. Look at the synchronicities in the colour palette and the imagery. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I thought. And oh my gosh, I could get quite tearful looking at that twin card with the 6 of Swords, that floating away, a single twin floating away, the colour palette matching brilliantly, and 2 rockets as well. There is definitely something here as well. Wow, I have a suspicion that this is going to be quite a hard hitting combination, but a much needed combination as well. So the Iris with the Joe Sparrow Tarot, which is a UK indie deck. Yes, really interested to pair these two together. Another story deck which I haven't given enough time to, which I really want to use in my year of word of the year being stories, is Witchling Academy Tarot. I know that it has a story running through the guidebook, which I am still not familiar with. I love the lightness of the artwork, that it's got sort of a crisp, clear lightness of touch to the artwork, which I thought might pair with the Vessel Oracle. This is new to me as well, another gift from the lovely Rumour Haven. I was so excited to get this Oracle. It's by the same creator as the Iris Oracle. It's a Spirit Speak deck, but she doesn't ship to the UK, so the only way to get these decks is either to be gifted, or as with the Iris, I found that secondhand online on eBay. But these two, they have the same crispness and lightness of artwork, I think. The Vessel is a little bit more spacious and has got more white space in its imagery, but I still think that they will work together. What do you think? I think this is going to be a fantastic combination. Also, I wanted to try the Queen Alice Tarot with the Vessel Oracle. I have a suspicion that these two are going to want to play with each other too. There is something quite quirky about the artwork in both decks, and I think that really bright colour palette will work. Oh my gosh, look at that. That looks like the same creature in those two cards. I love it when things like that happen. And look, the houses mirror the houses at the top of the steps. Yep, I absolutely love these two together. The colour palette on both, it's really summer vibes for sure. I love that turquoise colour around the edge of the Alice Tarot. It's my favourite Dame Darcy deck, I think. It's just lovely. So I'm really excited to work with these two together as well. Now, the very first deck I bought this year was this one, the Canter G Oracle. I saw it on Meg's channel, Rose Honey Ritual, and I just fell hook, line and sinker in love with it. Bought it immediately, still haven't worked with it. Now, I love the titles. I think there is something called title magic. If you give a doodle or a sketch or anything you've done a title, you can imbue it with magic, and I think this deck does that brilliantly. Now, I don't think I've used it yet because I wanted a circle deck to work with it. I don't like square decks or rectangular decks and circle decks together. And as I was sorting out the trolley, I thought, what about the Circle of Life Tarot? Of course, these two will probably work together. So let's pair them and see. And I think you will agree with me that they look like they were actually made for each other. Look at that colour palette. Look at the art style and that sort of watercolour wash feel. They both feel like you could turn a corner and meet some sort of mythical fairy creature. They've got that kind of otherworld feel about them. I can't believe I hadn't thought before now to put these two together. I've just made a fairy garden in the magic garden outside, so perhaps these two might come out into the garden with me to work with there, to do some fairy work. Loads of potential here for new practices using fae energy. Yeah, I absolutely adore these two together. Really exciting. Lots of new decks you can see here, guys, but exciting possibilities to definitely get me through the slump of the end of summer days. I love it. Let me know what you think of these two decks. Do you see the magic here as well? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And then also on the trolley, the Rose Alchemy Oracle by Sandy Humby. My Christmas present to myself last year, and again still unused. Oh my gosh, I take such a long time to get to decks, I really do. But look at the beauty of this one. Now I am not going to pair this one, I don't think, with any other deck. I can see me working with this alone, but bringing in crystals and found stones and feathers and things from nature. I don't quite know yet the practice that's going to develop from this deck, but I can sense that that's the way it's going. This isn't a deck for the pairing at all. Isn't it absolutely, utterly stunning? And then on the bottom of the trolley, we've got the Kawaii Tarot, bought this year, not used that much, but oh, it's just so glorious. Spring and summer vibes here, I think. Paired with the Inner Child Oracle, that's what I'm going to trial. I think the blue ties it all in together, that naive kind of childish artwork as well. If I get into a slump at the end of summer, I can't imagine a better pairing to reconnect with the lightness and the fun of life, and to perk up my spirits as the flowers begin to fade. Just a combination that I think is an absolute delight. My inner child is squealing as I speak. And another one, the Rebel Heart Tarot, another one that makes my inner child squeal, with these bright pink backs. Another mass market deck, which I have loved this year. It's a really affordable deck. It was under £15. Collage, crazy collage, beautiful depictions of the cards, great guidebook. It is just a winner all the way through. Now in my bag of shame, I have the Tantric Dakini Oracle unopened, so I'm going to open it now because I want to trial these two decks together. They're both on the trolley to be used, but what about together? They're both collage. I think they're both, from what I've seen, quite quirky. I love the layout, the fact that they've both got the white border at the bottom with the words on. I think these two might want to play together. What do you think? I've been absolutely chomping at the bit to get to the Tantric Dakini. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. These two look brilliant together. Oh, I love it. I wonder how the messages are going to work together as well. Visually, I think it's a winner, but you never do know until you work with it. Let's try. So this feels like me at the ocean with the kids and me in the greenhouse. And the oracle, oh yes, I am a goddess. Yes, perhaps the voice might work as well. That was tongue-in-cheek, by the way, if you didn't realise. But I suppose we're all goddesses, aren't we, in our own right? Yeah, I like these two. This might be an exciting combination. But also another new deck that I got this month is Andy Taylor's Feel Your Chakras Oracle. This is the sticker edition, full of stickers, as you can see. And chakra healing, I really wanted to start working with chakra energy, and I just thought the bright colours on this sticker edition might work to be pulled on and around the cards of the Rebel Heart Tarot. Can you see how nicely it's going to work? Now, I've already been using Andy's vintage version of this, which, oh my gosh, Revelations in the last video you may have seen, if I've uploaded in the order I think I'm going to. But this one with the bright colours, I think these two decks will work well together. So that's it, guys. That's what's on the Summer Tarot Trolley. I hope that you enjoyed watching me play with these new deck pairings and seeing what's on the trolley. It's been really fun to do, and happy summer, everybody. I hope it's going good for you. What are your decks that you're looking forward to working with this summer? How do you cope with summer's end, and do you have any new pairings that you've discovered recently? Let me know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.